Before we head inside the base, I want to explain why I used this type of external instead of the simple one. Also, the rate cost and the base cost is in the description if you want to check them out. This is old fucking fucker's disconnectable TC design, a better design than mine where I used square foundations and he used triangles, which is obviously simpler and better. By soft-siding this square foundation, the privilege carried by building blocks and at those two raised triangles, also placing half walls around this square foundation to cover it will connect the TC even if the square foundation is destroyed. The entrance is simple, but you can always adjust. This corridor is designed perfectly to limit raiders' mobility in an online raid if the garage doors are closed, and if they were all open, 4 turrets will cover it all. Behind this garage door we have our bunker, which we will get back to later. Jumping to the second floor, we have 12 vending machines behind the windows, which we will have our most important loot in, along with many boxes on the ground. In a normal player's eye, these are just vending machines behind walls, but I already made a video on it explaining, and I'll do a short explanation now. To get the loot of these vending machines, you'll need to raid every window after getting main TC because externals privilege will overlap, and this will most likely happen in an offline raid. In an online raid, and after the raider blows into this honeycomb, rocketing this corner will damage the vending machines, and by the time the raider recognizes what's happening, the vending machine will be destroyed and no loot stash will fall, making them lose the important loot behind them. On the third floor, we have 2 main bedrooms for the most active players, but of course you can always place more for late joiners in this empty space. We have 2 ways to our Peekdowns that contains beds inside them, which might be useful in an online raid. Our shooting floor is simple. Some good Peekdowns with 360 vision. The roof has nothing too special too, but you'll need to be very careful when placing those roofs because connecting them will connect the wall stack parts, leaving you with 20k stone, 20k metal, upkeep and 1 TC, and the 2 externals will get destroyed after they run an upkeep tick, leaving the base with 1 tool cupboard. I will be explaining how to place them by the end of the video. Going back to the bunker, we have an armored wall and a raised armored foundation covered with rugs. Blowing into this sheet metal wall will lead the raider to another armored wall followed by a workbench blocking his way, which is 4 more rockets if they blew through the bunker. And this is main TC's upkeep. Enough with the tour, let's go to the build. Assuming you're watching this video to check out the base, or you're on a build server to practice it, or you've already slapped down a 2x2 and you're not willing to soft side 3 walls, I won't be showing how to progress through the base. Instead, I'll build it to its final state. Start by placing down a honeycomb 2x2 with a raised foundation on the left where you want your entrance to be. Then fill this gap with a triangle and a raised square foundation, followed by a triangle to the left and the right. Then remove the first lower triangle and repeat the step on the opposite side. For those 2 parts, place a triangle followed by a square, then remove the triangle and go out 8 foundations. Then come back with 4 half moons and a raised square, then a square to the left and 2 triangles, and a square to the right and 2 triangles. Then repeat the step on the other side. If everything fits perfectly, upgrade the foundations as shown here. Then we'll start by closing the outer layer. Place 2 wall frames were shown and cover the rest with 2 stories of full walls. To be able to close the gaps between walls, you'll need to place wall frames that at the same time section the corridor. To save time rotating the wall frames, place them while hugging the wall, because if you place them from the opposite side, you'll still have a small gap between them. And the only way I could find to close the foundation gaps is with external stone walls. After placing the wall frames, close the wall stack and the connected part with 2 stories of full walls, but place a wall frame then a full wall above the entrance to the bunker. After that, start walling the first floor with sheet metal honeycomb, then sheet metal half walls above the raised foundation. Have this wall armored and the second half wall armored as well. Then start closing the roof as shown. Complete the core with armored walls, then close the ceiling as shown. EC goes in this corner. On the third floor, start by placing 2 wall frames above the connected parts. And 2 half walls above the wall stacked ones. Then section it off like shown and close the roof. For the Peekdowns, jump on a wall frame and start from the connected parts. I thought this is a good angle to show how to build them, so I'll be using it on the shooting floor as well. When closing these gaps, placing them on the part that is connected to the core will leave small gaps that the raider can shoot from, but placing them on the wall stacked wall frame will leave them gapless. This is the best way I could find to build the shooting floor. Also notice that I started from the parts connected to the core. This is where you should place the doorways, and this is how it looks like after placing the window. To close the shooting floor, start with placing a doorway in front of the wall frames, then surround the rest with full walls. After that, close the shooting floor ceiling. To finish the roof, place full walls next to the wall frames and windows on the triangles, then start completing the pattern. Then, in the Peekdown layer, place wall frames to match the ones under them, then full walls to section each part, then finish the roof. Don't worry about this gap, because if the raider is stupid enough to stand there, you'll see him before he can even see you. And here is how you place the roofs on the last floor. And that's going to be the end of the video. I will be linking the video of the external TC in the description in case you want to check it out or build it. And until the next video, take care and I'll see you soon.